So by the grace of Shri Maharaj Ji, I am elaborating Srimad Bhagavat Mahapuran. Last time it was explained that Bhagavat Mahapuran is the most important scripture amongst all other scriptures. And it was also explained that why Bhagavat Mahapuran is called to be the most important scripture. And in a nutshell, it was also explained that all the scriptures talk about karma or jnana or yoga, and they indicate towards the ultimate goal of liberation also. Like there are some scriptures which are called itihas, like Mahabharata, etc. They talk only about varnashram dharma, the dharma which is depicted in the Vedas according to the caste system. And that kind of dharma, which is called varnashram dharma, lead us only to the celestial abode. And you know it very well that heaven, the celestial abodes, are not the permanent place of unalloyed happiness. We get them temporarily, and after enjoying the fruits of our good deeds, we have to come back again in the same cycle of death and birth. That's why it is not recommended by the saints. The other scriptures and Purans, they talk about the different avatars of God, and they also lead us towards the goal of liberation. That is also not our ultimate goal. Because the goal of liberation releases us from the miseries of the world, but it does not give us happiness. We want to attain happiness. This is the main goal of our life. It seems like we want to be liberated. Because if we are liberated from Maya, then naturally we will be free from all the miseries. But it is not so. Suppose there is a beggar and he receives a lottery of $1 million. He was a beggar before. He was living in a hut. He had not enough food. Every day he was begging for the food. Now he has got $1 million. So he would not only keep it. Yes, I have become now I have become millionaire, that's enough. No. Now he would not live in that cottage. He will not beg for the food. He will wear good clothes. He will live in a good house now. He would like to enjoy the life with the money, because the ultimate goal of all the living beings is naturally to attain happiness only. In the same way, if we are liberated from Maya, it doesn't mean that our goal is completed, we have attained the ultimate goal of life. No, we want to be happy as well. But after liberation, what happens? Because the individual soul becomes free from Maya forever, that's why he becomes free from the material body. Now he does not have to come in the same cycle of death and birth. Then only Atma is left, which is divine, which is not material. All the material things have gone forever, but Atma is divine, that is left. So the Atma, because it is divine, it will merge into the Supreme Being, who is bliss himself, who is Anand. Anando Brahmeti Vijanat. He is bliss. So when the individual soul has become one with the bliss, he has become bliss himself, then how can he enjoy the bliss? That's why the goal of liberation is not the complete goal, it's not the ultimate goal of our life. We want to attain happiness. The Bhagavad Mahapuran only does not talk about the path of karma, it does not talk about the path of yoga, it does not talk about the path of jnana. It is the scripture of pure bhakti only. In Bhagavad Granth there is nothing except purest bhakti. It depicts only bhakti. And in the very beginning, in the first shloka of Bhagavad Mahapuran, Vyasa Ji said, Dharma prochit kaitavotru paramo nirmat saranam satam. It means this Granth is devoid of any kind of danger. And amongst all the dangers, the desire of liberation is the greatest danger. Lord Shankar said in Bhagavat, Svarga pavargesh narkeshvapi tulyarth darshinah. Either you go to Swarg, heaven, you go to Narak, hell, or you attain liberation, same thing. Just imagine. He's saying all of them are same thing, because if you are going to Narak, you are not going to attain happiness. And you are not losing anything as well. Because whatever sins we committed in this life and in past lives, we undergo the fruits of those sins. So we are getting free from some sins, from the fruits of some sins. So we are achieving something, we are not losing anything. And when you go to Swarg, you lose the fruits of all your good deeds. So you are losing there. So in Narak also you are losing because you are not attaining happiness. In Swarg also you are not attaining happiness. You are losing over there also. And if you attain moksha, that is the greatest kaitav, that is the greatest danger, because after attaining liberation, we lose the chance forever to do bhakti, to attain happiness. Because now the Atma merges into Paramatma forever. So, because it cannot come now again, it cannot become a human being again, that's why he will lose his chance to attain bliss forever. That's why moksha is called to be the greatest danger. That's why Vyasa Ji said that this is the scripture. It is a fruit. Nigama kalpataram galitam phalam shukmukhadamritat drava sanyutam muhuraho rasika bhuvi bhavuka pibat bhagavatam ras malayam. He's saying it is a fruit. It's such kind of fruit, there is nothing except juice. So he's saying this is a fruit, galitam. It is, this fruit came from nigam kalp taror galitam phalam. It came from the tree of the Vedas. But he is instructing, O Rasiks, O Bhavuk people, Pivat, this is a fruit and you drink it. Fruit cannot be drank. It is not the thing to drink. One can eat the fruit, or one can drink the juice of the fruit, but fruit itself cannot be drank. It's not possible. It is something to eat. But he says no. This fruit has no skin, any avaran. That all the fruits have a skin, which is a kind of pot, that is avaran. But in bhakti, there is no avaran, there is no veil, there is no skin of karma or jnana. Any rule of karma, any rule of jnana is not applied on bhakti. Bhakti swatantra sakal sukha khan. It is swatantra. It is completely independent. You just love God, that's all. There is no other rule for bhakti. So he is saying that you can drink it. Why? Because there is no avaran, there is no cover on this. And there is no pulp also. There is no pulp of yoga, etc. And there is no seed also, which is moksha. It is free from all these things. Be free from all these things. Take out the desires of all these things completely from your mind and then come to have the nectar of Bhagavat. Nectar of Bhava. There is nothing except the nectar. So it is like the juice, and because there is nothing except bhakti. Actually, Vyasa Ji Maharaj wrote many other scriptures, and the most important scripture among all of them is called Vedant. The Vedas are the eternal Granth, and Vyasa Ji divided the Vedas into 4 to make it easier. But still, the Sanskrit of the Vedas are very difficult. They were also not feasible for the common people. That's why, again, he wrote the matter of the Vedas in Vedant, which is also called Brahma Sutra. That is the most important Granth. But still, when Lord Krishna went from here and the Kali Yuga appeared, after that, the grasping power of the people was going lower. Then he thought to write the Purans. He wrote Puran as well. But still he was not happy. One day he was sad that Naraji came over there. What happened? You are such a great scholar. You have written so many scriptures. Why are you not happy? There are no. I have done so much work for the public, to help the public, but still I am not happy. Then Naraji said, you know why you are not happy? Because you wrote a lot about knowledge. You wrote a lot about karma. You wrote a lot about varnashram dharma, but you didn't write anything about bhakti. So you have to write something on bhakti. But for that, you have to do bhakti first. You do bhakti first, attain bhakti, and then you write. Only then you can write it correctly. So, then Brahmaji, apashyat purvam mayam cha yadhaitukam. First of all, he had the darshan of Shri Krishna. And then he gone through the Maya also, he saw the Maya also, he understood that Maya as well. After that, he wrote Bhagavad. And then he wrote only about bhakti. So this scripture, because there is ras only, it is full of ras. If you are practicing devotion and you're not having ras in that, sometimes you feel that I am seeing Shyam Sundar. Shyam Sundar is here. I am touching him. I am looking towards his face. It's so beautiful. If you are not enjoying the meeting with Shyam Sundar in many ways, or sometimes you are not enjoying separation, if you are not shedding tears in separation, you should feel separation from Shyam Sundar. You should feel an encounter with Shyam Sundar. Then you are doing devotion. That is called devotion. If we are just singing bhajan and our mind is going everywhere in the world, that is not devotion. So Bhagavad is teaching us that what is devotion through the devotees, through the pastimes of Shri Krishna and the pastimes of many other devotees, Bhagavad teaches us what is devotion. So Bhagavad is a very, very important granth. And in Bhagavad as well, because I explained that the writer of Bhagavad, the orator of Bhagavad, and the listener of Bhagavad, they all are Paramahans. They are equivalent to God. In fact, they are. It is written in the Bhagavad in many places that Vedavyas Ji Maharaj was God himself. His name is written in the list of 24 chief avatars. So he was Brahma, and Shukdev Ji Maharaj was also Brahma, Brahmataya Mane, he was also Brahma, and Parikshit Ji Maharaj was not less than Brahma because he got darshan of Shri Krishna when he was in the womb. So Janat tumahi hai jai. According to that, he was also Brahma. So because everyone is Brahma, the writer Vedavyas Ji is Brahma, he is also a very high personality, he was a great Paramahansa. Shukdev Ji Maharaj was also a very great person. He was such a great person that he was the Leela Shuk of Kishori Ji. Leela Shuk means chronicler of Kishori Ji. He was the teller of the secret Leelas of Kishori Ji. That's why he was fondled by Kishori Ji. He had a right to enter the confidential room of Kishori Ji all the time because he had to write all the Leelas. Then if he will not be allowed to go anywhere Shri Radharani would go, then how would he write? You remember in Ramayana there is a katha that once Bharat Ji, Lakshman Ji and Shatrughan, they all thought, they were just having a meeting and they were thinking Hanuman Ji is so clever that he has taken all the sevas from us and we don't get any seva. So we should have a meeting. We are the brothers of Shri Ram and we have also right to do his seva. So they had a meeting and they decided, they distributed all the sevas amongst three brothers. Bharat Ji, Lakshman Ji and Shatrughan Ji. And then they informed Hanuman Ji. They said, Hanuman Ji, now we have divided the seva and only that person will do the seva who is given this seva. He said, okay, let me see. When they told, there was no name of Hanuman Ji. But Hanuman Ji didn't say anything. And Bharat Ji said, Hanuman Ji, now if any seva is left, you can do that because they have already written all the sevas. That's why very confidently, Bharat Ji said, Hanuman Ji, is there any seva left? You can choose. He said, okay, I will snap when he will yawn. Okay? They said, okay. Because he will, Ramchandra Ji, hardly he yawns. So whenever he will yawn, only then he will come. I said, okay, that's okay. Now, he was going everywhere with Shri Ramchandra Ji. So Bharat Ji said, why are you all the time you are there? They said, because I have to snap. Who knows when he will yawn. Then they were very much worried. And then when Ramchandra Ji was going in the bedroom, he started going with him in the bedroom as well. Then Bharat Ji said, where are you going? Sita Ji said, where are you coming? We are going to sleep now. My duty is to snap. And this is the main time when he will yawn. I have to be here. So then Bharat Ji said, no, you do your seva as you were doing before. In the same way, Shukdev Ji Maharaj is Leela Shuk of Kishori Ji. That's why he will go everywhere, but in the form of a Shuk, in the form of a parrot. So this Bhagavad Granth itself is a very, very important, it's a really high-class Granth, and the highest kind of Granth. But in this Bhagavad Mahapuran, there are 12 cantos. The 12 cantos are like the 12 parts of the body. And there is one canto which is the number 10. The canto number 10 is called to be the heart of the body. Why? Because in this canto, all the beautiful leelas of Shri Krishna are written, and all the absolute secrets of bhakti are also depicted in this 10th canto. That's why it is called the heart of Bhagavat. But in 10th canto as well, there are 5 cantos from 5 chapters, chapter number 29 to 33, which talk about Maharaj, and these 5 chapters are called Ras Panchadhyay. Ras Panch Adhyay. Adhyay means chapter. Ras Panch. Panch means 5 chapters of Ras. That is called Ras Panchadhyay. Ras is the most confidential, very secret, and the highest class of Leela of Shri Radha Krishna. Ras Leela is very secret type of Leela because it cannot be played without Shri Radha Rani. When Shri Radha and Krishna both dance together along with the gopis, and the nectar of love which rains, then it is called Ras. Rasayate iti rasa. Where the nectar of bliss, the love bliss is raining, that is called Ras. Ras, in Ras, the gopis only, they can come. The other devotees who live in Braj as well, they are also nishkam, selfless, but they cannot enter. Why? Because the Ras is such kind of pastime of Shri Radha Krishna, where the highest bliss could be attained. One name of Brahma, God, is Ras. Raso Vaisaha. Ras means Shri Krishna. Raso Vaisaha. So when Ras word is connected to Shri Krishna only, but Raso Vaisaha, this definition applies for Brahma also. Brahma means formless God, Nirakar Brahma. The Jnanis worship Brahma. They do not believe in any form of God, that's why they worship only Brahma. Brahma is also Raso Vaisa. He is also Ras. He is also the ocean of bliss. So gopis are not satisfied with Ras only. Sa esh rasanam rasatamaha. The highest degree of Ras is given to the gopis. Like you see in English, you say good, better, best. In the same way, rasa, rasatar, rasatamaha. Rasatamaha, where the highest degree of ras is being showered, that is called ras. And in Ras Panchadhyay, there is not the description of Ras only. In Ras Panchadhyay, there's the description of Maharaj. Maharaj. When the nectar of divine love bliss torrentially rain continuously for one kalp, and all the sentiments of love appear there with their thousands of arts. Each sentiment has many arts, many streams. They spring out all the time. So the highest bliss himself is there, Shri Krishna is there, an embodiment of love. Shri Radha Rani is there, and the gopis are there, and all the sentiments of love are revealed over there with their all the arts which are springing out all the time. Imagine that what kind of love could be that? We cannot imagine that love. In Ras, only 4 kinds of gopis were there. Nitya Siddha, Sadhana Siddha, Shruti Rupa, and Prakirna. Nitya were those like Lalita, Vishakha, etc. They are the eternal associates of Shri Radha Krishna. They were never a material being. It never happened that they were an ordinary being and they did some sadhana and after that they became the gopis, they became the sanctuaries of Shri Radharani. No, they are eternal. They are eternal associates of Shri Radharani, and they are also called Kaya Vyu Rupa of Shri Radharani. It means they were the body of the sentiments, the esoteric state of the love sentiments of Shri Radharani could be seen in the form of the gopis. That's why they are called Kaya Vyu Rupa gopis. The Nitya Siddha gopis were Lalita, Vishakha, etc. And Sadhana Siddha, there were many gopis who did sadhana and after that they realized God under the guidance of Nitya Siddha gopis. If anyone realizes God without the guidance of these Nitya Siddha gopis, Lalita, Vishakha, Tunga Vidya, Ranga Devi, Champak, Lata, etc., then they cannot attain Maharaj, because they would not know that what is the real ideology of the love of Shri Radha, which enables one to enter Maharaj. So these 4 types of gopis. The third one, Shruti Rupa, there were some hymns, some richas of the Vedas. They also descended, they also did sadhana, they did austerity, and they attained the bliss of Lalita, Vishakha, etc. And they also learned the ideology of love, and then they also became the gopi, and they also had a right to enter Maharaj. And Prakirna, there were some of different, some of them were Agniputra, Mahatmanas, Tapasa Gopi. No, there were some Agniputra, there were some the rishis of Dandakaranya, there are some other sages. They also did the same sadhana and they also became the gopis. So there were Prakirna, there were many other kinds of the gopis. The main quality, the main qualification, which could be, you can say, the visa to enter Maharaj area. That is 2 things, there are 2 qualities. If you have those 2 certificates, then you can enter Maharaj. Number 1, only those gopis can enter Maharaj who are self-surrendered, who are surrendered. They have surrendered self. What is the meaning of self-surrender? Generally, all the devotees surrender everything to God. Without surrendering everything, one cannot realize God. They have to surrender their body, their mind, and then their intellect. Their body, their mind, their intellect. They have to surrender all these things, and then they realize God. So only sacrificing whatever you have is not self-surrender. It is surrender. If you are not using your mind, you are going according to Lord Krishna, according to your beloved, that is also surrender, but it is not self-surrender. What is self-surrender then? Lord Krishna explained it through one Leela, which is called Chirharan Leela. In Chirharan Leela, when Lord Krishna took away the clothes of the gopis and he sat down on the kadam tree on one branch, and the gopis were busy. They were playing, they were having bath, and they were playing, they were singing, they were talking about Lord Krishna alone. They didn't know that somebody has taken away our clothes. Then Lord Krishna was waiting. He said, they are busy. They are not looking towards me. They don't even know that I have taken away their clothes. So how long will I sit here? That's why he started playing his flute to attract their mind. When they heard the sound of the flute of Lord Krishna, then their mind was attracted, and they said to each other, it seems like Shyam Sundar is near this area. And then they saw Shri Krishna was sitting on the kadamba tree. Then they thought to go to Shri Krishna, but when they saw towards their clothes, the clothes were disappeared from there, and they say that it was also on the same tree where Shri Krishna was sitting. They requested in many ways. In the beginning, they scolded Shri Krishna, oh, shameless Kana, why did you take us our clothes? Give it back to us. He said, I am not your servant. Come here and take your clothes. I am playing my flute, don't disturb me. He said also like that, and they were scolding Shri Krishna that come, no, you have to come. You come and give our clothes. He was not listening. He was playing his flute like he is not listening. But later on, the gopis requested earnestly that Kana, you know that we love you so much. We are totally sacrificed on you. We have given up everything only for the sake of your love. And still, why you are bothering us so much? How can we come like this? You are insisting, come and take your clothes. We are not wearing any clothes. How can we come like this being exposed? You should think about it. Lots of things, gopis were telling all the time. They were requesting Shri Krishna. After that, Shri Krishna said, yes, I know, gopis, I know that you love me a lot. I know that you have sacrificed everything for me. You don't care about the laws of the Vedas. You don't care for the decorums of your family or the clan or the society. You don't care what the people are talking about you. You have no concern about your reputation, etc. You are so much dedicated to me, you love me so much that I am completely beholden by your love. I can't believe that somebody can love me so much. You love me so much, and I want you to give the result of your love also. But why? There is a thin curtain between you and me, because you say that you surrendered yourself to me, and you do. You think that you have completely surrendered yourself to me, but you surrendered everything. I know that. You have no concern of anything at all. You are completely surrendered, but even then, you are not surrendered yourself. You have to surrender yourself also. Self is there. You surrendered everything except yourself. You have to surrender yourself also. You love me. I know that. And I want to give you the result of that. But how can I do that? If there is a little attachment anywhere, suppose there is a bird, and it is, it is bound with some very, very thin kind of thread. She wants to fly, but she can't, because she has to break that thread also, only then she can. Although it is very weak, very thin, but she doesn't want to break it. It is the silken thread, and the bird does not want to break it. Then how can she be free? In the same way, you have sacrificed everything, and I removed your Maya long time ago. Your Maya is gone long time ago. I removed the curtain of Maya, but still you are infatuated with the curtain. Maya has gone. Why are you infatuated with the curtain? You just remove this thin curtain as well. Then you will become one with me. Then there will be no question. If you are surrendered completely, then who is thinking I? How can I come out? Why do you think? Who are you to say I if you are surrendered? Your I is surrendered to me. Then how can you say that? How would I come? How can you think that if I will come out, anyone can see me? They said, Kana, we are not hesitant to come to me in this way. But if somebody else would see, I don't want them to see me in this way. So how come this idea came in your mind when you are not yours? When you have surrendered yourself to me, then how this idea came in your mind that you will come exposed towards me? So when he explained like this, he said, see, there are few things. When you surrender, number one, when you surrender yourself, then number one, you should not have the ego. You should not have the inkling, the memory that you surrendered something. You should not have this feeling that you are offering someone something, if you are donating something. It doesn't mean that you have to say that I donated that. If it is in your mind that I donated that thing, then it means you gave something, but this donation was not pure. So if you are giving yourself, then number one, you should not feel like you are giving something. Suppose I'm sitting over here. This sofa belongs to this ashram. When I go, I say that I am giving a gift to you. Take this sofa from me. This sofa is already yours. Then how come I am giving you this sofa? In the same way, if you have given yourself already to me, then how can you think, how can this idea come in your mind that you gave something to me? So number one, you should not have the inkling of giving something, and the idea of giver should also be lost. जो दिया है उसका भी भान ना रह जाए और देने वाले का भी भान ना रह जाए. किसने दिया पता नहीं, क्या दिया पता नहीं, हमारा कुछ था ही नहीं. Nothing belonged to me. Everything already is. So when such thing happen, when you become so much one with the beloved that you have no idea that you have surrendered yourself. You become one. When you become one with the one who you are surrendering yourself, only then it is the right kind of devotion. He taught it. When gopis heard about that, Then they forgot about their self and they immediately came to Shri Krishna. Now they could not see anything at all. They could not see the other gopis as well. They were seeing only Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. Now there was no hesitation. There was no question, nothing at all. And then, as soon as they surrendered their selves, then Lord Krishna returned their clothes. The clothes which they were wearing under their waist, Lord Krishna put it on his shoulders. And then he returned those clothes to the gopis, and gopis took their garments as the prasadi. Now those garments were the dearest one for them, because they wanted to wear all the time only those clothes, because they were the prasadi of Shri Krishna. They reminded them Shri Krishna all the time. So after that, when they surrendered their self, they could not see anything else. That's why in Maharaj also, there were millions of the gopis. Everyone was dancing with Shri Krishna. And Shri Krishna was loving, fondling all the gopis equally. But no one was jealous to anybody. Why? Because they didn't see anyone. If they were seeing anything in Ras Mandal, they were seeing Shri Krishna only. Because now they have dedicated their self. When self was dedicated, when self was sacrificed, now there was no problem. So such kind of gopis who have dedicated, who have sacrificed their self also, they entered Maharaj. And then the gopis were, all of them were selfless as well. They because they have dedicated their self. So they were selfless, means they have no desire. Generally people take it like this, that if you do not have any desire when you are remembering God, they should not have any desire of this planet and thereafter. Up to the abode of Brahma, there should be no desire of the happiness of any planet. There are so many planets altogether. There are 11 planets. Manushya Lok, Manushya Gandharva Lok, Deva Gandharva Lok, Pitri Lok, Achanas Deva Lok, Karma Deva Lok, Nitya Deva Lok, Indra Deva Lok, Brahaspati Lok, Prajapati Lok, Brahma Ka Lok. There are so many levels of happiness. When a devotee gives up all of them, he is not allured even by the happiness of the abode of Brahma. Only then he realizes God. He attains prema bhakti. That is the first level of love, prema bhakti. They attain that. So when you do not, there are many devotees who do not desire for the happiness of all these planets, and there are many who do not desire even moksha, and they are wiser than them who do not desire even the happiness of Vaikuntha Lok. Now the real happiness, the happiness of love, starts from Dasya Bhav. Dasya Bhav, Sakhya Bhav, Vasalya Bhav, Madhurya Bhav. There are many levels in them as well. So the one who does not desire the happiness up to the lok of Brahma and the happiness of moksha, and they do not desire even the happiness of Vaikuntha Lok, there are many devotees like that. Most devotees, Sur, Mira, Kabir, Tulsi, Nanak, Tukaram, they were all such kind of devotees. But the gopis were very different from them. The concept of gopis of selflessness was completely different. Their concept of selflessness was that, no, if you are not desiring material happiness, that selflessness is the common selflessness. If you are desiring happiness, if you desire happiness of the material world, that's why you are worshipping God, then you are not even a devotee. But if you are a devotee, then you will not desire anything. But the gopis are those who do not know what is desire, what is self-desire, what is the desire of self. All the time they focus on the desire of Yugal Sarkar, Shri Radha Krishna. Their mind is always trying to find out that what is the desire of Shri Radha Krishna now. They are doing everything according to their desire. It never came in the mind of these gopis that how can I be happy. The other devotees call Shri Krishna for darshan. They want darshan whenever they want darshan of Shri Krishna, they want to see him. Whenever they want to have the touch of Shri Krishna, they want it. You remember one episode, Shri Maharaj Ji repeatedly talk about that once it happens, when Lord Krishna said that I have headache and it will be, I can be left only when somebody will give the foot dust to apply it on my forehead. Nobody was ready. Even Mahalakshmi, Narad Ji went to Mahalakshmi first. Who can love Shri Krishna more than you? He is your husband. You can give the foot dust. You should give, so I don't have to go anywhere else. Rukmani Ji and all the queens, they said, Narad Ji, is there anything wrong in your mind? Any screw is loose now? What are you talking about? You asked for my life. We can give our life for Shyam Sundar right away. But how can we give foot dust for Shyam Sundar to apply on his forehead? Impossible. Then Narad Ji went. He is Abad Gati. Means he can go anywhere only by resolving. He went everywhere, in all the planets, wherever the devotees of Shri Krishna were. He went everywhere. Everybody said the same thing. Narad, are you crazy? What are you talking about? We can give our life right away for Shyam Sundar. But if you say to give the foot dust, impossible. We cannot give. Why? They were afraid. They were afraid for their future. If we will give our foot dust for Shyam Sundar, then in which hell would we go? All of them were thinking like that. It will be greatest sin. It will be greatest offense from our side. Where would we go? We will not get a place even in a greatest hell. They were thinking like that. But when same Narad Ji went to the gopis, they immediately said, take as much as you want. Narad Ji asked them, gopis, don't you know that who is Lord Krishna, whom you are giving this foot dust to? I know. Narad Ji, this is not the time of discussion. He is having headache. Go immediately. Give him this medicine. Then come back. Then I will explain you. You want to say that if I will give my foot dust for Shri Krishna, then I have to go to hell? Narad Ji, if we go to hell forever for this reason, then it will be our greatest pleasure. It is not the matter of grief for us. We will be extremely happy. Anything, any source of greatest happiness which gives us happiness, but it does not please Shri Krishna, is bad for us. We cannot use that. That is most miserable for us. Anything which is most miserable, but it is the pleasure of Shri Krishna, that is most the best thing for us. We like that thing. You don't know that we love Shri Krishna. If we love, the prime ideal of love is Tat Sukh Sukhitvam. We have to be happy in his happiness only. So the gopis were all the time concerned about the desire of Shri Radha Krishna. they never knew that what is our desire. Any desire never take place in the heart of the gopis. The gopis were the exclusive devotees. This is the reason why they were given such a high place, for which even Mahalakshmi did austerity for thousands of years. Yadvanchaya Shri Lalana Charattapo Vihaya Kaman Suchiram Dhritabratah. She did austerity just to get the foot dust of the gopis, but she could not. Even Brahmaji had an austerity for 60,000 years. Shashti Varsha Sahasrani Maya Taptam Tapapura. He is saying himself, the Shashti Varsha Sahasrani, I did tap for 60,000 years. Why? Padarenu-palabdhaye. Nanda-gopa-brajastrinam Padarenu-palabdhaye. To attain the foot dust of the gopis. Then, did you attain after 60 years austerity? Did you attain the foot dust of the gopis? Brahmaji said, Tathapi namaya praptas tasam vai padarenu. Even then, after the austerity of 60,000 years, I could not attain the foot dust of the gopis. Their place is so high, nobody can imagine. How can we imagine that love? When they are all the time concerned about the desire of Shri Krishna. The Rasik saints say that the gopis were the mind of Shri Krishna, Shri Radha Krishna. What does it mean? If you want to know that what is in the mind of Shri Radha and Krishna, see what the gopis are doing. Whatever they are doing, that is the thing which is in the mind of Shri Radha Krishna. They were so much concerned about their desire. So their praise was so high, and their love, we cannot even imagine that what that love was. All the time they were thinking about, they have no time to think about anything else. So when this happened, these type of gopis were the deserving souls for Maharaj. We are far away from there, but still, Shri Maharaj Ji narrated the 5 chapters of Braj Banchary Devi for us, because when we hear about something, then naturally we know the importance, and by the grace of our Guru, we can desire also to attain it. When we have the desire, then we can make the effort also accordingly. If we are making effort, then by the grace of God and Guru, we can attain also. If we don't even know what is the highest aim of our life, then how can we make any effort? Now we know the highest aim of life is bhakti, and in bhakti also, the bhakti of Madhurya Bhav Bhakti. Bhakti is of many levels, Dasya Bhav Bhakti, Sakhya Bhav Bhakti, Vasalya Bhav Bhakti, and Madhurya Bhav Bhakti. The bhakti of Madhurya Bhav is the highest aim of life. In Madhurya Bhav as well, Sadharani Rati, Samanjasa Rati, Samartha Rati. Then Samartha Rati is the highest aim of life. In Samartha Rati gopis as well, there were many gopis who reached up to Mahabhav. In Mahabhav also, there is another step of Ruda Mahabhav. The gopis went up to Ruda Mahabhav. Then we have to reach up to that state, the state of the gopis. That's why Shri Maharaj Ji always teach us, Gopi prem ki bhiksha dije, kaise mohi apno kari dije. This is the highest aim of life, that we should desire the same love, the same kind of seva, Gopis did not desire anything else except the seva. Seva of Shri Krishna, seva of their beloved. That's all. We also want to realize God. Why? So that we can attain prem, love. Why should we attain love? So that we can serve our beloved. We should serve. We should not have the desire of our own happiness. Many people ask this question, that we are practicing devotion in order to realize God. If we don't have any desire to attain our own happiness, then what is the purpose of realization of God? We want happiness. That's why we are trying to realize God. But if Shri Maharaj Ji says you should never even think of your own happiness, then what is the purpose of practicing devotion? Here Shri Maharaj Ji explains that, see, we should not desire for our own happiness. Rather, you can understand it in this way, that a mother serves her child. She brings good clothes or sometimes good food for her child. When child eats and he becomes happy, the mother also becomes happy. If a guest comes to your place, you make good food for him. You think a lot that I should cook this, I should cook it, he would like this, he would like this. And you cook good food, you serve your guest very well. If the guest is very happy with your food, if the guest is very happy with your services, then you also become happy. It gives you happiness. When guest is happy, then you become happy. If guest is not happy, then you will also be unhappy. In the same way, if we love Shyam Sundar, then we serve Shyam Sundar. When we serve Shyam Sundar, then he will be happy. And he said, Yadyadishtatamam loke yachati prematmana tattannivedayen mahyam tadanantyaya kalpate. Because he himself is happiness, he does not need happiness. But he looks towards our sentiment that we want to make him happy. So the percentage a devotee wants to make Shyam Sundar happy, he knows that there is so much intensity in this feeling that this devotee wants to make me happy. So he becomes happy for the pleasure of his devotee. He becomes happy and then he multiplies it. Whatever we offer to God, that is not divine, that is material. Like we offer food to God, that is material. Our bhavana is material. Everything is material. But when we have this bhavana that Lord Krishna will be happy with this food and we offer with this feeling, then Lord Krishna really becomes happy and then he multiplies it. And when it goes to Shyam Sundar and it becomes divine, then he returns to the devotee, multiplying the same happiness and making it divine. So in turn, we attain divine happiness and in thousands of more times. He multiplies it. So we attain too much happiness and that is divine as well. So we don't have to be worried about our own happiness. When Shri Krishna will be happy with our seva, then we will naturally be very happy. We will attain divine bliss automatically. That's why we should know only this philosophy, that if we have to love Shri Krishna, we should not have the desire of self-happiness. This is the concept of the gopis about selflessness. Do not have the desire of self-happiness. So such kind of gopis were doing, they entered the Maharaj in Ras Panchadhyay, in 5 chapters of Ras. This was depicted. So when Lord Krishna took the test in Chirharan Leela, and when the gopis understood and they surrendered self to Shyam Sundar, then he immediately gave a boon to them. Ransatata ima kshapaha. Means he said that now I will give you the love bliss in the form of Maharaj right after 1 year. See, he took such a great test. Even then, he's telling them to wait for 1 more year so that your love will become more shiny. It will shine more. Aptattatanu natada moshnute divam. Without the feeling of separation, without giving viraha, the love does not shine. Like to shine the gold, we have to part it. In the same way, to shine our love, viraha is also compulsory. That's what Lord Krishna said right after 1 year. And imak shapa. Secondly, he said, in front of the same night, when they were having bath, it was daytime. It was not night time. But Lord Krishna is saying, in front of these nights, I will give you love. I will play with you the play of Maharaj, the highest praise. There is nothing beyond this bliss. Beyond this, the bliss of Maharaj, there is no other bliss at all. That is the highest bliss, because Mahabhava Swarupa Shri Radharani is over there and she is giving this bliss. He said, after 1 year in front of these nights, the question arises, number one, night is one. He said nights, Ratri, plural. He's saying in front of these nights, I will provide this rest to you. And secondly, in the daytime, where the nights came from, actually, nights are 16. From the first night, Prathama, first night to Purnima, 15 nights, and next one, the first one is called Pratipada. In that way, there are altogether 16 nights in this world as well, in the material world. And they also have many beauties, many arts. But the nights which were standing there in front of the gopis and Shyam Sundar, they were the divine nights. Wherever Lord Krishna goes, in Vrindavan, in his abodes, everything is divine. Na tatra suryo bhati na chandra tarakam nema vidyito bhanti kutoyam agni. Everything, the earth, the sky, the air, the trees, the creepers, the birds, everything over there is divine. In other words, Lord Krishna himself becomes the earth of Vrindavan, the sky of Vrindavan, the air of Vrindavan, the trees of Vrindavan, the creepers of Vrindavan, everything he himself becomes over there. So the nights were also there, moon was there, sun was there, everything was there, but everything was divine. And the Ratris, the nights were also divine. So Lord Krishna said, in front of these Ratris, when these Ratris will come again, then after 1 year, I will provide you, I will give you this exclusive ras of Maharaj. And then, after 1 year, everybody was waiting. The gopis were waiting, the Ratris were waiting, because the nights were also going to avail the opportunity to see the Maharaj. That's why they were also waiting, that when would I see Maharaj? That as soon as the day come, right after 1 year, those nights came in front of Shri Krishna and they stood with the folded hands. Lord Krishna said, yes, why did you come here? No, I just came to remind you, 1 year is over. You promised something, the gopis. Oh yes, yes, I promised, I remember now. And then he looked towards the night. The night was so beautiful because everything became exclusively beautiful. Chandrama was there, the beauty of nights, because all the nights came with all their, each night have thousands of their arts. They appeared there with all their arts. They made the night most beautiful. And Chandrama also came over there. The moon also came there with its full beauty. Moon was very happy. Why? Number one, Shri Krishna belongs to the clan of moon. And secondly, moon is the devata of mind. When Lord Krishna didn't have mind, then moon could not do anything. But now, today, when the nights reminded them, Shri Krishna, that the time of Maharaj has come. You promised someone. He said, yes, yes, I promised. And then he looked at the nights, the beauty of night, and Chandrama also came to provoke the feeling that you have to play the amorous pastime of Maharaj. Now the gopis are waiting and we are also waiting to have a glimpse of Maharaj. That's why Chandrama came with 5 expertise. Drishtva kumudvanta makhand mandalam ramamanabham navakumkumarunam vanam cha tatko malago viranjitam jagav kalam vavadisham manoharam. He looked towards the moon. Moon came with 5 main specialties. Number 1, Kumudvant. When moon rises, like the sun rises, that time the lotus also bloom. In the same way, when moon rises, then Kumud, the water lily blooms. So the beautiful lilies were blooming over there. And Akhanda Mandalam, it was completely round and there was no blemish, any spot was not there. It was looking extremely beautiful. And Ramananabham. Thirdly, number 3, there was some redness in the Chandrama. Yes. And it was looking so beautiful, it was completely round. And it was so beautiful that it was reminding the face of Sri Radharani. Lord Krishna looked towards the beauty of the Chandrama and it immediately reminded the face of Sri Radharani. So he was very happy. He was seeing Chandrama unblinkingly and he was thinking he was seeing the face of Sri Radharani. So Ramananabham and Navakumkumarunam. When one meets his wife, his spouse, his beloved after a long time, then they put kumkum also. So the moon was spreading the red light all over in the sky. That's why it was looking like that it is the kumkum on the forehead of Sri Radharani. And Vanam Chatat Komal Goviranjitam. The red light was spreading all over the jungle, all over the forest where Shri Krishna was there. And he was ready to have the Maharaj. So the whole forest was looking so beautiful because Mahalakshmi was also decorating the earth. Mahalakshmi created the flowers of all the 6 seasons. The flowers of winter, the flowers of the summer, the flowers of autumn. Every type of flowers were there and each and every leaf was shining like anything. The leaves were shining, the leaves of the trees, the leaves, the creepers, the leaves, the plants, they were shining And on top of that, when the red light of Chandrama, the red light of moon was also falling on them, then it was looking extremely beautiful. The earth was looking so beautiful because everywhere there was the grass and it was looking very fresh and the grass was standing straight. So everything was looking extremely beautiful. So Chandrama, the moon came with these 5 kind of specialities over there, and as soon as Lord Krishna saw, Viksh means he looked towards that, and then he Manas Chakre, he made up his mind. He made up his mind. It means he had no mind before, because aprano hyamana shubhro hyaksharat paratah para. The Vedas say Brahma does not have any mind. This is the also speciality of God, that he is the abode of all contradictory attributes. Like apani pado javano grahita pashyati chakshu sachinotya karna saveti veta nachasasyati veta. The Vedas are saying apani pado means he has no legs and no hands. Binu pag chalai sunai binu kana kar binu karma karai vidhinana. आनन रहित सकल रस भोगी बिनुवाणी वक्तावर जोगी. He has no legs, but he can take the round of the entire universe within no times. He has no hands, but he can pick up anything from anywhere in the world just like this. He has no eyes, but he can see the entire world all the time. Entire world all the time. No, it is not that whenever he wants to see anything he can see. See, we are sitting in this room. Our approach is in the entire room, but even then if we want to see everything at a time, we cannot do that. We have to see the things one by one. But Lord Krishna sees everything of the entire universe all the time without any gap. While he has no eyes, apashyat achakshu, sachinotya karna, he has no ears, but he hears everything. The same, he has no mind. So he had no mind, that he had to make up his mind. He made the mind immediately. When he made the mind, then moon became more happy, that now I can also enjoy the sentiment sitting in the minds of all the gopis. And all of the devatas also became very happy, because altogether there are 11 devatas, and they control the senses of the human beings. Like moon is the devata of mind, it sits in the mind. When moon is sitting, the devata of mind is sitting in the heart of the gopis, then they can enjoy the sentiments of the gopis from inside. In the same way, sun is the devata of eyes. So when sun is sitting in the eyes of the gopis, then they are looking towards Shyamsundar, they are enjoying the beauty of Shyamsundar, and because Surya is sitting inside the eyes of the gopis, then Surya can also enjoy the beauty of Shyamsundar, the beauty of their sentiments of seeing towards Shyamsundar, and Shyamsundar is also looking towards their eyes, so they are getting those vibrations as well. So Surya is also saying that I am blessed too today. In the same way, Indra is the devata of hand. He says, oh, I am also blessed, because when the gopis will touch the hands of Shyamsundar, then I will also enjoy the same. I will also secretly enjoy the beauty, the bliss of touching the hand of Shyamsundar. In that way, all the devatas, they are thinking that we are blessed now. So Lord Krishna looked towards this beauty. It was exclusive beauty. This kind of beauty was never seen in Vrindavan. That's why Bhagavan api taratri sharadot phulla mallika Vikcharantum manaschakre yogamayamubhashrita. Then he saw this beauty and he reminded that, yes, I promised the gopis that I will give this rus to you today. Then, but he could not do anything about it because the Adhishthatri Devi of Maharaj, the chief deity of Maharaj, is Shri Radharani. Without the permission of Shri Radharani, Lord Krishna cannot play Ras. Then what to say of Maharaj? He had to put his mukut at the lotus feet of Shri Radharani before he plays Ras. So he had to go to Shri Radharani to get permission. Then he went to Shri Radharani, Yogamaya Mupashita. He went to say Shri Radharani that I promised Gopi 1 year ago that I will provide you this ras after 1 year. And that time has come. These nights are reminding me. Shri Radharani said, if you promise, you fulfill your promise now. Go and give this ras to them. But how can I do that? I am sitting alone over here. The gopis are in their homes. I do not have any source of email, WhatsApp, nothing like that. How can you inform them? Then Shri Radharani said that you don't need email or WhatsApp, etc. You just play your flute. And you play the flute in such a way that it should go in the heart of the gopis who deserve Maharaj. Only they should listen to it. Lord Krishna said, okay. Then he played. He played his flute and it went in the heart of the gopis directly. And then what happened? Let us see tomorrow. Bole Alveli Sarkar ki jai.